Just leave me to do my dark bidding on the internet.
It's called Two Brothers. It's just called Two Brothers.
And welcome to another.
Oh, you fuck.
Okay, go.
You kind of killed it a little bit.
Go. Alright, go.
Fucking dick. Welcome to another episode. You know what? I can't fucking do it no more.
What?
Welcome to another episode of Two Brothers.
Oh my God.
The Spooktober edition. We'll be talking about scary stuff for the month of October.
Yes.
And for... How are you leaning forward, huh?
Yeah, I'm asshole.
fucking-
Hey, can you hear me now, guys? Fucking dickhead. Trying to be relaxed here. You're all.
I'm trying to lay back here and hold on to these batteries in my hand. That's all I'm trying to do.
All right, Albert.
Okay, so we're gonna be talking about our favorite horror movies tonight. We don't really have a top 5 because they're just
It's too many.
we didn't make one, so
You bitch.
we're just gonna talk about our favorite horror films off the top of our head. Because why the fuck not? Kind of like what we did with the video game episode, which depending on which one comes out first, you might not even know what we're talking about, or you do. So let's get into it. What is one of your favorite horror movies of all time?
Why me, fuckhead?
You're holding fucking batteries. You're clearly distracted, so I thought I'd fucking snap you out of it. Huh? How about that?
Well, let's start it off with the classic slasher of all time, 1978 Halloween.
John Carpenter's Halloween
Yes.
from 1978.
Yes, that's what I just had.
Well, fucking talk. You just said
Oh.
start with the slasher film, Halloween.
It covers all bases of a slasher / horror film. Director, story,
Music.
characters,
Uh-huh.
music,
Right?
and atmosphere too.
Do you still think it holds up today? In terms of, does it fucking scare you though?
Not scared anymore, but still holds out to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
What do you think? I know you've seen it before. Do you agree with what I just said? Like everything's fucking perfect. Even to this day, the soundtracks is used.
I wouldn't
And
say
character.
I wouldn't say that it's a scary film anymore.
Oh,
I
no,
think it just doesn't have a scare factor attached to it. But I will agree that it is definitely a classic, and it deserves to be like in the pantheon of the best horror films of all time. So I mean, I'll give it that. And of course, it spawned the fucking slasher genre in horror films.
Yeah.
Without Michael Myers, of course, there wouldn't be no fucking Jason or Freddy Krueger or Leprechaun or Chucky or Ghostface or any of those Leatherface,
Yeah.
shit like that.
So
So that is a good pick because it did kind of spawn those horror films that is associated with Halloween, associated with horror films, and of course, while we're recording this, we just got done watching Halloween Kills, so it's still going on. So I
even
agree.
the 2018 one is now that's what everyone's trying to copy now, which they did perfectly, like what a sequel or a reboot should be for a slasher.
It's the highest compliment you can pay to that film of 2018 Halloween because once Friday the 13th comes back, I'm sure that it's going to try to go down that route. Scream is going down that route.
Yeah.
I don't know if I say Spiral is, but they're definitely trying to reach a more mainstream audience with that film like it did with Halloween. They didn't succeed, but Halloween is still proving to be sustainable,
Yeah.
And can we just take a second to be fucking how awesome it is that we live in this day and age where not only are we getting one Halloween film, we're getting 3 of them.
Yeah.
And they're all interconnected. I would love to fucking see that with A Nightmare on Elm Street again, or Jason, or fucking Saw, or any of those movies. And like Halloween is still doing those things.
That's a testament of what they're doing it right, man. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
and they still have John Carpenter, which is fucking like amazing.
Right? They still have the original guy, Nick Castle.
Mm-hmm.
They got Jimmy Lee Curtis, John Carpenter, like you said. Like, what else do you want?
Yeah.
He's also composing the music.
So it still stands the test of time.
Yeah.
Even the original one. Another one, in no particular order when we're talking about these movies, The Exorcist. Already, I know you're gonna say that already, but I mean, might as well talk about the fucking best ones, right?
Okay.
That still stands the fucking test of time.
But for some reason, it scared the hell out of you. What the fuck?
I told you before, I saw it during the fucking daytime. The lights were on. It took the tension out of it. I know I did it on purpose, but still. That should tell you how afraid I was to watch it at night or to watch it with the lights off, because that movie still fucking holds up. It still has some of the best practical effects, even when it came out at that time. The story is like really engaging. Some all around best fucking like good performances from the actors. It fucking shocked the entire country when this movie came out.
Yeah, it did.
The whole world, not just the whole fucking world.
People were passing out and throwing up and all this shit. Like, Jesus Christ.
Even our dad said that was a movie that he was, that kind of scared him too.
Yeah, he went to go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s.
And our dad is like one of the most fearless people we know. And The Exorcist kind of got under his skin.
Like, speaking of that, like, there's the director of 2018's Halloween, what's his name? David Gordon Green.
He's doing The Exorcist.
He's doing the remake, so I don't know. Like,
I can't think of a better person.
I know, but that's like a big task to do, man.
Oh, no, yeah.
Because no one can, like, even get close to what The Exorcist did, you know?
There's a reason why we have not seen a remake of The Exorcist. There's some movies you just can't touch. Mm-hmm. That in terms of like making a remake, we haven't seen a remake of it. Even when fucking Hollywood kept rebooting all their films during the 2000s, the 2010s, they did Friday, Nightmare, Leatherface and shit. And like, but no one's not gonna do The Exorcist, because that movie, how the fuck are you gonna like do that? Mm-hmm. How are you gonna top that? You know. So I'm excited when they do the remake. I know they did a TV show, but
it didn't even fucking.
It barely even got like any hype or anything.
I think, yeah.
So hopefully the movie does better.
But how are you gonna make a fucking show out of The Exorcist? Which is,
I know, yeah.
Which is like, how do you say, so graphic and sometimes, you know, like it shows the ugly side of demonic possessions and all that, you know.
Well, the other thing is that the movie is paced so well.
Which one?
That The Exorcist, that it has to be a movie. There's no way it can be a show, in my opinion.
Right?
You know? So many great scenes in that film. Which one is one of your favorite, or like, I wouldn't say favorite, but scariest scenes that stuck out to you?
I'm trying to think here. There's a lot.
There's a lot, man. Especially during that third act. But, I don't know, I think the spider walk down the stairs.
That came out after the like extended cut or whatever, so I didn't see that one.
Okay.
I seen the spider walk like on YouTube. So I saw the original.
Oh my god, that was terrifying, man.
Fucking our brother wanted to watch it late one night.
Are you serious?
And
which one?
Sergio. He used to sleep over here.
Damn.
And I couldn't take it, dude. I tried to fall asleep. I had to put my head under the covers. But
you can still hear.
You can hear the fucking
the
growling, and I had to come over here to Ivan's room and knock. Like, dude, I can't do this shit.
You can't watch it.
And I even had to make him turn off the fucking film because I couldn't watch it, man.
That's one of those things where even if you stop midway, that shit still sticks with you. You don't even have to watch the whole thing for it to fuck you up.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, going back to what was scary was the head spin or the
iconic fucking. Is that the actor's name is
Linda Blair.
Or actress name is man. the prosthetics that they use, the makeup and everything,
which it still fucking holds up.
I don't think anyone's been able to top that, in my opinion. That shit is terrifying still to this day. That, and I don't know how they, like, because I haven't seen any of, like, the behind the scenes or anything. I don't know how they managed to, like, do that. It looks so natural and almost, like,
which one?
Practical. That the whole head spinning effect. How they managed to do that, like, that was so fucking
I think there's
scary,
a behind the scenes and shit like that.
Yeah, that explains it, but
I know I would watch like a top 10 like cursed films or whatever, and The Exorcist is on there.
The first one?
Yeah, I don't. Well, the set burned while they were filming, I guess. The actors, even the Linda Blair got hurt. I don't think the scene is when they go into her room and she's like fucking doing this on the bed. Like,
like having a fucking convulsion.
Yeah, I think she hurt her neck or something.
That looked really fucking.
Yeah,
she may have got.
And the mom, that when she slapped her or something, like, or got pushed, she got hurt. That actress.
Yeah.
So everyone got fucking hurt and stuff like that, you know. So,
dude, another thing to point out is like, for that time, it was also very fucking disturbing imagery.
Right.
And even till this day, again, with the exception of like a few movies like we're gonna talk about later, The Exorcist has some of the most fucking disturbing imagery. When she's like, you know, stabbing herself with the crucifix, saying all those profane fucking words that I don't want to repeat on this podcast, like that shit is just bananas.
I feel like you were saying, like people couldn't. I would say wouldn't handle it back in the day. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like it's wired in our fucking heads. Excuse me, to not see those type of things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because when you see it on screen, even though you know it's just a movie, it's still like, whoa, what the fuck am I watching? Type of thing. Like, this is so. It feels real, you know. Like it can happen to anyone, type of thing. That's why I think people. I want to say not gravitated, but like we're interested in watching it, you know, word of mouth going around type of thing. So.
Did Texas Chainsaw Massacre come out before or after, or was it around the same time?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because I was gonna say, like, if it was The Exorcist or whatever, I don't know. After that movie came out, I think a lot of people, like a lot of studios, a lot of directors, were not afraid anymore to show that kind of disturbing imagery. After The Exorcist came out, I think that kind of opened the floodgates for shit like The Evil Dead.
It came, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre came, The Exorcist came out in 1973, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out a year later. So
okay, so around the same time, I guess.
What were you gonna say, like?
Yeah, I was saying, like, after The Exorcist came out, we got movies like Evil Dead. We got movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A lot of other films were not afraid anymore to show these kinds of violent and disturbing imagery, and it's just, that's a testament to how powerful, but also how important that movie is in terms of horror films. Like, it's, would you say it's like the grandfather of like horror movies?
Yeah,
or at least one of them, because I know there's like Alfred Hitchcock's films are pretty what's the word, significant as well. And they're very like legendary, so it's up there too for sure.
Yeah,
an honorable mention is the third one, which I guess you could say
that was the one I was going to bring up.
I guess is like, that's the official sequel to the first one, right?
Yeah, that's what people were saying. Like,
that's what they consider as the, and Mike, we saw it last year
on Halloween,
and they're right. Like, it's not like in your face as scary as like the first one is. I think there's moments of more like build up and more dialogue between characters, more character development. I think that's what I meant to say. But it still has some pretty fucking haunting scenes. In fact, not too long ago, I was trying to, because there's one scene that stuck out in my head when I saw this movie last year. Was, I think it's one of the characters goes inside of a church, and they walk past a statue of, like, I don't know who it is. I don't know who the religious figure is, but he's like holding a book or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking like this, and for a split second they cut back to him while the character's like walking past it or walking away from it, and it has this like evil fucking smile or grin.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
remember that?
yeah, I remember that.
It happens for like not like it's like a split second. That shit really fucking like took me like off guard. And what the hell did I just see? I had to like rewind it to see if did I see that right? Like The Exorcist 3 has a lot of those
moments,
moments where it's kind of like blink and you'll miss it kind of shit. And that was like, and then of course the hospital scene. Oh,
which one were the jump scare?
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember seeing it on like on a top 10 list, but it didn't show it. So I went to look it up. Boy, was that a fucking mistake.
You got scared?
Yeah, I got fucked because it was my first time seeing it. I didn't know what the context was or what the jump scare was. So it was just a fucking nurse coming in and out of a fucking room, and then all of a sudden some lady with a huge pair of scissors just comes out, and that shit fucking scared me, man. It was like a nasty scare. So that movie was, and also got some Emmys, right?
Yeah.
Emmys?
No,
Is it Emmys?
fuck, not Emmy. Oh, Oscars?
Oscars. I don't know if I said Emmys.
Brad, how do you say his name? Brad?
Dourif, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're not butchering.
Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky. He played the Gemini killer.
Which you and I didn't know.
Which, I didn't know that. That
Well,
was
he did such a fucking good job.
He did fucking... again, we were watching a top 10 list, and people were saying that he was so close to being nominated for an Oscar because how good his performance was.
Wow, man.
And yeah, his performance is fucking great in that
It is
film.
haunting.
Yeah.
Even, man. I that stuck with me after the movie was his performance. So
What that film has is more of a, would you say psychological instead of like
in your face kind of,
or like the
supernatural shit. Yeah.
instead of like being demonic or possession. That one's like more towards at the end.
Yeah.
But,
it's more
like,
definitely towards the end. This one's more psychological, I would say.
Right.
It's kind of like Silence of the Lambs, I guess you could say. Do you think that's a good comparison? Because then aren't they trying to figure out who the Gemini killer is?
Yeah.
And all this shit. They come in and out talking to that guy every once in a while. It's pretty fucking scary.
I think that the Exorcist 3 is underrated, man. No one gives it.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So,
I think real hardcore fans know about it. But if no one has seen The Exorcist 3, like, that's a good movie to watch.
Yeah, like I think the director of the first Exorcist came back to direct this one because they were going to change the story. So you know what? Just let me fucking direct it and write it, whatever, and I'll do the sequel for
just like Rob Zombie.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I don't want to keep talking about paranormal movies, so let's try to stay away for a moment here.
Well, you haven't seen it, but I want to mention it.
Okay.
Was Trick or Treat.
That's on my list to watch.
At first, I thought it was one of those, straight to DVD films. That was gonna be a fucking not so good movie or whatever.
Yeah, I remember seeing that a lot. And
yeah, right.
Like,
Me too.
It doesn't look. It looks weird.
It looks weird. And like, what the fuck is this, right? But I also saw it. I think the one that got me into it was Chris Stuckman, the reviewer on YouTube. I saw one of his annual Halloween ones, and he talked about Trick or Treat, and he was saying it's a fucking like a fun, goofy horror like anthology.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get into it.
It's an anthology.
Yeah, it's little stories.
Oh, okay.
But it follows the same Sam, the same character.
Okay.
I was gonna say, you bought it for me. I told you to get it for me.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So I saw it one night, and dude, I take whatever I said back. Treat. It's like, it's fun. It's like one of those movies you have to see on Halloween.
All right.
It's really fun. I really loved it, and that little kid, the Sam, became one of my characters.
Like your favorite, horror
characters, yeah.
icon, I guess you could say.
It's really cool. Hey, it feels like Halloween. It adds rules to Halloween. If I remember, I only saw it once last year. I'm going to see it again this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like the rules are for Halloween's like never like I think like don't turn off your decorations on like on time or
Is it like Nightmare on Elm
early
Street type of shit?
something like I
Little-
forgot, but it
little
had
nursery
little
rhyme?
it had yeah they had little store like
Okay.
little rules
Uh-huh.
or that little character shows up.
Uh-huh.
So it's pretty cool. Like it
That's
had,
pretty cool.
it's all about Halloween. So
Ah, yeah, I gotta watch
that's
it, man.
the good way to put it. If it
Gotta
you know,
watch it.
scary shit happening on Halloween. It's just so fucking fun, you know. Which I wish there was a sequel to it. So
I was gonna bring this up because I don't think I've ever talked about it in all of our time doing the Two Brothers. Is at least this one, the first Saw movie.
oh, okay.
Because I could sit here and talk about all the other ones, but we don't got time for that shit. The first one though is that everyone knows about it. Everyone agrees that that's the best one, and till this day, it is still a pretty good film to watch. I wouldn't say it's because I did see it. I think it was this year actually, in preparation to watch Spiral. The first one, the acting is kind of, it's kind of a bit cringy sometimes.
I can see that.
You know, and it's obviously if it has a like independent feel, like small budget, kind of shit. But what they managed to
No, I was about to
create
say,
with that,
yeah.
like, they fucking more than just made their return on their investment, and it spawned an entire fucking franchise of Saw films, and even shit like fucking Hostel, Human Centipede, like movies like that kind of did almost like torture porn type
Yeah.
of shit. Like it started with the Saw film.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
yeah.
Like it started, you know, that genre of films. You know.
And of course, every film that came out, with the exception of a few, kind of got worse and worse. But that first one, man, and that twist, which if you haven't seen Saw yet, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, you have
Right.
to still watch it. But
Dude.
when he cut off his foot,
Oh my God, is that the twist of?
well, I mean, well, it's not really the twist, but
Okay.
that's the thing that people fucking remember
Is that
leaving
cutting?
the theater with was that image of the Dr. Gordon cutting his fucking foot. That was the best performance throughout the whole film. Was him fucking like just hacking away at that shit and crying and in pain, and then you see Adam just fucking screaming and looking in horror and shit. Like as a kid, that shit fucking like, I don't want to say traumatized me, but it haunted me for a few fucking days. Like that shit stuck with me, and I don't think it's able to replicate that again. That moment.
This is how much I still remember about Saw. Is we saw the trailer in the theater and it was called Jigsaw. I don't know. I don't know if it's a Mandela effect, like how people call that shit.
Yeah.
Because now then you just change it to Saw.
Or maybe you're just remembering it wrong.
Right? I don't know.
Because I also remember seeing the trailer for it, but I didn't give two shits about it, so I don't really paid attention. as
But I
much as
did,
you
and it was called Jigsaw.
Yeah.
So I was kind of surprised they changed it to Saw, but
I mean, there is a Jigsaw now.
yeah. But when I saw it too, the one that got me was the ending.
I know, yeah.
Even as like a kid, I'm a holy shit. That's fucking cool.
Right? Yeah.
Impressive fucking twist, you know.
And once again, just like with that iconic moment, I don't think they're able to replicate that kind of twist.
No.
The second one kind of still had that element of surprise, but after that, I think people kind of, all right, we know that every movie's gonna have a twist. And people were able to fucking figure it out before it even happens.
And I think that's kind of what they, when I say they shot themselves on the foot with, is because now that's what everybody's.
That's what they associate
with that.
Saw is like the twist ending.
Kind of like with M. Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes.
Yeah, except M. Night Shyamalan's twists are just fucking batshit crazy. Like The Happening.
Okay.
That twist is just dumb. But at least Saw tries to make it, you know, at a point you're just kind of along with it, and you're like, this is kind of cool and goofy and shit, but I don't know, for me, I ate that shit up, dude. And I still do. Like, to this day, it's my favorite fucking horror franchise. And even though most of the movies aren't fucking great, Neither is. I was gonna say neither is really Halloween
or Friday,
you know,
or Nightmare too. So
yes, I mean I enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's fucking. I'm desensitized to it. All the fucking traps and everything. Like that's the reason why I still look forward to a Saw movie is to see that shit. Of course, you know, with the latest one, I think we both were able to figure that shit out. I figured it out. I think 10 minutes into the movie.
the spiral.
Yeah, I figured out the twist pretty fucking easily, and that's not a good sign when you're able to fucking find out like what the twist is gonna be.
I think you said 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's within that 10 minutes. But it's the scene where he's calling Chris's Rock character.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me when we left the theater.
Yeah, and
He plays the taps on the computer. Or no, sorry, that's not the twist. But you hear his baby screaming, crying, and it's like that sounds so fake.
and I'm all it hits him right away.
And the other thing too is like Saw movies, they always show you when someone fucking dies. They didn't show it with that other guy, and that was a dead giveaway.
Yeah,
that he was the fucking Jigsaw killer. So, anyways, that's a little rant out the way. But the first one, fucking fantastic. Going back to, or do you have another one?
yeah.
What is it?
We don't think you're gonna pull this out of your ass, now, Bert.
What is it?
It's one of the best vampire films of all time.
Fuck.
What? What is it? If you get it wrong, I'm gonna slap you right now in our live podcast that we're doing.
It's not even live. Man.
It's live for us.
What we do in the shadows?
No.
The Interview with the Vampire?
No.
Dracula?
No.
Oh shit. So we're gonna talk about Blade.
No.
What the fuck is it then?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, that's right. That's a good one.
Come on.
But how could you not mention What We Do in the Shadows or
Well, we'll talk about
an
that
interview with Tom Cruise or whoever the fuck it was?
That one's it's more of a like theatrical fucking film.
Fucking Shakespeare.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn, dude. Yeah, let's talk about From Dusk Till Dawn. And that movie is a fucking cult classic.
Telling you, see?
Oh yeah, and that's like the marriage of Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. Is that the only movie that they
No, they did
worked on together? Or is it
they did 4 Rooms.
4 Rooms? That's right. 4 Rooms.
And I think they did. No, yeah. Dude, come on! Like you didn't expect to be a fucking horror film because like half the film.
Oh yeah,
it's like
the first 20-30 minutes is just a fucking. It looks like it's gonna be a thriller.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a fucking horror film.
In the middle of the fucking film. Like,
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, you don't see that coming, man.
Before I want to compare it to Malignant. Malignant looked like it was gonna be a supernatural movie, and then at the end it became a fucking slasher. From Dusk Till Dawn looked like it was gonna be a thriller, and then it turned out to be a fucking vampire like action horror film, and I was all there for it. Even as a kid, I was like, this shit's fucking awesome. Like,
yeah.
How it just turned the whole story on its head was so fucking brilliant, and it could only come from someone like Quentin Tarantino.
It's one of those films that even if they show it late night, like in AMC during right now, I have to sit down and watch it.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
It's like it's so I don't want to say quotable, but you remember?
Come on, Sex Machine.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna bring that up.
That one right there. Come on.
And he fucking
and
gets
he gets ready and shit, and he starts to.
Yeah, stuff like that.
The part where he grabs the heart and he fucking sticks a pencil in it and shit. Oh my god, man.
Stuff like that, dude. Like you can Sex Machine with this fucking like pistol.
His little pistol that comes crotch and shit.
That what was it? Fuck, what's his character's name? With the mustache. Fuck, I don't want to. Cheech, right?
Yeah.
And there's a little speech and outside the.
Yeah, we got fucking all
black pussy. We got this one, you know, stuff like that, right? And that, see, I'm telling you.
And who was it? George Clooney like
punches him,
sucker punches him in the face and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then Harvey Keitel did such a fucking great job.
Yeah.
I loved his fucking performance in that movie. It was just so awesome because you see him like lose faith, and then in the end he fucking just
he just fucking
starts kicking ass, man.
Yeah, to this day those fucking vampires creep me out. You know, there's moments where he's like,
Oh
so,
no, the who did it? It was, what's the name of Sex Machine? The actor
Tom Savini.
Tom Savini. He did the
Yeah, I think
practical
so, yeah.
effects, and fuck, man, that was as a kid too. That shit scared me, man.
Yeah,
There were some scenes that were like, ooh,
too much.
that
right?
was too much for a little kid to watch. I mean, even Salma Hayek was in that. That was also a little too much, in a different way. But no, man. And then you have Quentin acting too, which
Right.
is rare to see because
He's rarely in the films.
he's
yeah.
rarely in movies, and so to have him have such a significant role, he played it so well, like this fucking psychopath.
He's basically
You know?
a fucking psychopath. Yeah.
Like he's a fucking.
Out of,
you don't know
like,
what he's gonna.
He's
do.
out of control and everything, right? That I would like to see as a prequel, as them two. That would be fucking cool to see.
Well,
but
you can see the show.
yeah, it's but it doesn't. It's not a prequel though.
It is a prequel because it remember it like those last few episodes of the first season leads up to the movie of the film.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So it is technically I guess
Okay,
you're saying a
yeah.
prequel. But if you're talking about like a movie, like they should
Yeah.
revamp it. Yeah, I'd be all for that. That'd be kind of cool.
And the ending song, fucking.
Oh my god,
It's a dark night.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, it's so fucking cool.
So come on.
Yeah,
There
it's a
you
good
go.
horror film to watch for Halloween too. Good action horror film.
Oh, are those psychos or?
No, yeah. You remember that? Yeah.
Are those psychos? They're fucking burning and like just. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, and Cheech played a lot of fucking
Character
in there, huh?
Yeah.
Because he played a border patrol guy,
Yeah.
and then he played the guy in the bar, and then he played the guy at the end.
Yeah, right.
Fucking Robert Rodriguez, man, he's so cool. Such a great fucking director. Okay,
What do you got? Albert? Can you pull a movie out of your ass just like I did right now?
The Blair Witch Project. I know it's kind
Yeah,
of going.
no.
I know it's going back, kind of like the paranormal shit,
I
but
don't
it's a
think
found footage
That's
movie
what to
too.
say. It's a found. It's not paranormal.
And I think it's still the best found footage movie of all time, because it just felt so fucking visceral and real. And even as a kid, I thought, as a kid, you think everything is fucking, like, you told me that Michael Myers was real, and I believed it. So I thought this shit was a fucking real movie that happened, and it was fucking just terrifying from beginning to end. Was just watching these people kind of slowly descend into madness, you know,
Basically,
and trying to find their way out of these fucking woods. It made you fucking scared of the. I mean, the woods are kind of scary already to begin with, but when this movie came out, you're like, I'm not fucking with the woods. Period.
Yeah.
You know. And then you have the fucking ending scene, or, well, I guess the scene with that lady turning the camera to herself has kind of become a meme.
Yeah.
You know, I think you've seen that a lot in other fucking
Yeah.
scary movies. Kind of replicated that. But dude, that ending, man. Yeah, it's like Resident Evil 7 reminded me of Blair
Yeah,
Witch.
that's a good comparison.
Oh my god.
This is how it impacted me, right? I remember our brothers. I think we all sat down and watched it, right? They rented it from the library, and once it was over, I don't know who it was. So it's based on a true story, right?
Oh my god.
And like, oh shit, really? What I saw was real,
Yeah.
right? So years later, I don't know if I bought it in the thrift store or whatever, but I seen it. But since I bought it, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this shit.
Yeah.
I had the guts to watch it again. The second time by myself
By yourself?
in the dark.
Eric, come on. Why the
And-
fuck would you torture yourself like that?
And the one that stuck out to me was when one night when they were sleeping, like in the cabin, they hear like rocks throwing at their tent or whatever. And I don't know where this fucking lady just starts running and yelling.
Oh.
I think it's one of those scenes, right? She just gets up and because she's just there's rustling too. Their tent. That's why they made a run. Yeah, there you go.
And they all get lost?
They know she just starts screaming and gets lost and shit. Like, whoa.
Dude, the one that stuck out with me is when they lost, I think his name is Josh, when they lost him or something like that. And it's been like 2 days that they weren't able to find him. And then at night you can hear him like screaming for fucking help.
Yeah.
And they're like, should we even go out there? Like, the fuck? And oh my god, hearing him like yell for his friends, it still gives me kind of gives me the chill.
Yeah. The chills.
The chills. I'm Hispanic. I can't say chill. No man, that and then even they try to do it again with the remake.
That's what they'll bring up the remake. I don't remember shit about that remake.
Nah, me neither.
Right?
Because I remember people saying that movie was good, and we saw it and I was like, this shit fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
Like every fucking time someone would turn a camera, it would be a jump scare. Every fucking 10 minutes is a damn jump scare. There was no tension until like the very end. There was some tension there.
Just kind of like the video game.
Yeah, but the video game is better, I would say.
I was going to bring it up because I don't remember nothing. Right? This, the first one came out 92, 94. Well, I don't know, around the 90s.
Yeah.
And that shit stuck with me still. I still remember.
It still does.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, that's a testament of what this fucking film was, you know? So, yeah, it's a good one.
And then, another found footage movie, which we'll briefly talk a little bit of, is Paranormal Activity.
The first one. Yeah.
I like how we both said it at the same time. Because the second one was...
yeah.
And then the rest were fucking bullshit.
Which was the second one?
I don't know if it's like a prequel or it happens at the same time as the first one, but it's like another family, and it turns out to be the sister of the other sister from the first one.
Well, which one's considered the next? Wasn't it when they were little kids?
The third one, the Paranormal Activity 3 was...
Right, when they were little?
Yeah. But even that, I think, was kind of pushing it, because it still had some good moments, but the first one, is just...
Same thing with that.
Such a good fucking movie, man.
Again, I saw a top 10 somewhere, and what they did with that film is they had a very, very limited release in theaters. So what they did, they did that and basically recorded people's reactions in the theater, and that's how they sold it.
Yeah.
And that's how whoever picked it up, got it.
I remember that. I remember seeing those. I think. Because they would do it with every other fucking release.
Yeah, they would.
They would show the reactions because that was like the big marketing thing. But it re-sparked the fucking found footage genre. Yeah. Because after that one, you had
multiple
fucking shit ton of other found footage movies. And then eventually, even Paranormal Activity became like a shell of its former self.
Yeah. Came out yearly and.
Yeah.
Dude, ain't this new one coming out?
Yeah, no one knows about it, dude. No one's fucking talking about it.
Right?
That's how no one gives a shit.
Is there even an actual trailer?
I've seen the trailer.
That was like a teaser trailer, right?
I think that's the only trailer anyone's gonna get.
Damn, dude.
And that didn't look fucking good.
That was two brothers.
No, we're not even done. Yeah, so Paranormal Activity was a good one. I don't know if I'd say that there was any moments that really stood out to me except for like the end. But
the ones that stuck out was always at the night.
Yeah. I think that's what everyone associates with, and that's why I wouldn't say it's like top tier, but it still gets under your skin when you watch it. Like you kind of feel a bit uncomfortable seeing it.
No shit, it fucking I don't want to say it's.
It's in your fucking room.
Yeah, it can happen.
Made you scared of your own room, just like the Blair Witch made you scared of the woods. And then, I guess going back to like the more older films is Jaws. We can't make a podcast about horror films and not talk about Jaws. Yeah. I finally saw it a few months ago. I mean, I've seen it before, but I was a little kid and I don't remember shit from it. But seeing it again, like. I can see why it is regarded as like the only, I guess you could say, like horror, like shark horror movie. Deep Blue Sea is also pretty good, but Jaws is just it's iconic, man.
Do you say Deep Bruce Lee?
Deep Bruce Lee, Deep Blue Sea. The Punisher, because the Punisher's in there. And LL Cool J. Sorry.
The only reason I remember you knowing that you saw the film is we were watching Always Sunny. the Pandarosa massacre.
Yeah, and then
And
Charlie
Charlie-
starts to talk.
And that's from Jaws.
Yeah, like, that's-
oh, you finally saw it.
Yeah. Oh man, that movie. Cause I was actually when I watched it, there's one character that gets introduced. I forgot what his name is. And he's like the, what do you call those people who knows about the fucking ocean?
Oceanologist.
Yeah, so there's an oceanologist that gets introduced like 25 minutes into the movie. I remember thinking, like, if they make a remake, the oceanologist should be played by Charlie Day, dude. Because he looks and
I
plays like...
don't think that's the right term.
I think it's like a marine biologist,
There you
okay?
go.
That's the fucking... But can we just call it oceanologist? I
Okay.
like that, all right?
And Charlie Day should do the...
Yeah, it should be the oceanologist. That'd be kind of cool. And, man, the fucking haunting score
Oh,
of,
yeah.
of that movie with Jaws, when he finally starts to pick off people and shit like that. Oh, the music was just on point,
Dude,
man.
it has to tell you, too, whoever, growing up as a kid or people from that generation, that movie fucked them up. They can't swim in the beach, right?
I never fucking went to the beach, but I don't want to go to the beach.
Because of
know?
Jaws.
Yeah. But
know?
it is just... And I can't believe it was made by Steven
Right.
Spielberg, But it's a good fucking movie. God, there's so many we can talk about. Well, you want to talk about two more?
No.
Jaws 2? That movie's not even
No,
that
bitch,
good.
you can do a part 2 if you want to. Continue talking.
Yeah, we can.
All
Yeah,
right,
we
two-
should.
Yeah, Two Brothers.
So this is not... Let's at least talk about one more.
Okay.
What do you got? Because if not, I already got one.
Okay, go.
Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, might as well end it with Shaun of the Dead, right?
Right.
For part 1?
Well, we're going to do part 2 then.
Yeah, because I want to talk about Get Out.
All
What
right.
you talking about?
All right. So, all right, Shaun of the Dead. And I'll bring one too real quick because it follows the same genre.
All right, well, let's talk about Shaun of the Dead first.
Okay.
Because I know what you're
It's great. All right. So,
No, Shaun of the Dead, you are the one who got me into it because I didn't know anything about it. But
Yeah.
you've seen trailers or commercials of it or whatever. And you were telling me, hey, we gotta watch this movie called Shaun of the Dead. It's like zombies, but it's like has comedy
Yeah,
in it.
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, what the fuck? I never heard of this shit. The fuck kind of
all right.
a horror movie with comedy? And I was like, I don't know, man. And then I saw, because this was back in the day when we used to get fucking newspapers on like Sundays and
Yeah.
shit. And I remember looking for the review of it. And I remember the review that he got. I don't know who the reviewer was or where. Honestly, I don't even remember what the fucking newspaper was. But it got a B+. And I was like, at the time, a B+ to me sounded like, damn, that's a fucking great movie then. And I remember looking to see what the show times were in the newspaper and everything. It's like, all right, it has it at this time. We'll watch it at Westy. We went to go see it, and it fucking blew me away. And it's funny because like when we first saw it, we laughed at it because it was a good movie. There was some good jokes. But as you grow up, you kind of there's this shit that you kind of miss that
as
kind
a
of goes
kid.
over your head.
Right.
Just like a lot of Edgar Wright movies. We talked about it with the top 5 action movies with Hot Fuzz, but Shaun of the Dead, man, I love that fucking movie. It is such a good fucking
This
movie.
is how, Shaun of the Dead, like you're right. I saw commercials and one day we had to see this film. I had a gut feeling. We saw it in the dollar film because for some reason we couldn't watch it because back in the day they had people at the door.
Yeah.
If it was rated R, right?
Well, it also had like there was no other theaters that have it. Like, I think the only one had it was in downtown, right?
Yeah. And we saw it when it was in the dollar film because they don't give a shit. They
Yeah,
They
let
let
you
us
go.
in, right?
We saw it early in the morning, I
Yeah,
think, too, or
yeah.
something like that. So
And when we came out, dude, we fell in love. We rented it multiple times.
we bought it
We bought it.
multiple times because
Yeah.
we have the Blu-ray.
We got the Blu-ray. And we see it every other year or, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I think
It's quotable. The characters you love,
oh yeah,
right?
it spawned. I would say it made fucking Simon Pegg
I was going to...
famous, man.
Yeah. I was going to... Yeah, it was for this episode. I was going to say... that gave me my sense of humor in some way.
No, I agree. I
You know,
agree
that's-
100%.
I want to thank Edgar Wright. Even that Shaun of the Dead is a Hot Fuzz. and
World's End.
World's End is
Baby Driver.
all that.
Yeah.
I always want to think of because that's my sense of humor. That's what I get.
Yeah, I
right?
think I agree too. Because before I had no sense of humor, so no, when I saw Shaun of the Dead, I was like, yeah, this is the kind of shit that I dig this kind of humor. This shit's fucking good. And as a writer, I was inspired by that. I was gonna say, like, I think I have the record of having seen Shaun of the Dead. I think more than you have.
I think
because
so.
when I was writing one of my screenplays, before I would write, I would watch some scenes on repeat, and I would read it with the script. So I read the script multiple fucking times, and I would read sections of it and match it with the scene, and just as a writer, like seeing how those jokes were, I guess not made, but the setups and all that kind of shit was just so fucking good, man. And then of course you have the music from Dawn of the Dead, right?
Yeah, some music from
They
Dawn of the
use some music from Dawn of the Dead, and it just fits so fucking perfect. The zombies also look like they're straight out of a George A. Romero movie.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, it's just so fucking good. What's one of your favorite quotes?
Fuck.
Because there's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a girl in the garden.
Oh, yeah. The what? In the garden, there's a girl.
What was the other one when they call the police? Is what does he say? Oh, they're engaged.
Engaged, yeah.
So,
So let's try the fire department. Like what for? I don't know, anything with flashing lights or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then I remember
and after they kill the zombie, so what do you want to do? Is have a sit down?
Yeah, and then he starts eating the fucking ice cream because he got red on you. Oh, yeah, it was like, hey, Pete.
Yeah.
Pete. I was like, maybe he's just still asleep.
What did he say? Oi, fuckface.
Oi, prick.
Oh, oi, prick.
Like, no, he's not home.
He's not in.
He's not in. And then they go up and grab the keys and everything. Oh, my God. Yeah. Or I think even they had in the... I don't know if they had it in the commercials, actually, but when Sean's looking through the fucking little mail, shutter thing, and it was like, how many of them out there? And
Lot? No, wait.
No, I forget what it was, but he said, like, how many zombies are out there? Like, don't do that. Like, what? Don't use a Z word. It's like, oh, well, how many are out there or something like that.
Right, he changes it.
Yeah. Oh, my God, man. He's such a good If you have not seen Shaun of the Dead,
what the?
You fucking owe it to yourself to just sit down and watch it. It's just such a good fucking movie. And for anyone who's an aspiring writer, like, if you want to know good pacing, if you want to know how the three-act structure works, Shaun of the Dead fucking nails it perfectly too. So, and then of course we got another movie that you introduced me to the same way you did with Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I think it's called One Cut of the Dead. Last year we were preparing ourselves to watch horror films like what everyone does on Halloween. And this one kept popping up multiple times. And on the fucking cover it says, best horror or best horror comedy film since Shaun of the Dead. Whoever, Sean holds that title,
That's
man.
a bold statement. Right? Yeah.
Okay, but I saw the reviews and all this shit. I only saw the trailer once, which is a good way to see it because it doesn't give away a lot, which is a good fucking thing. Right?
Nowadays, trailers give so much away, but this movie did a fucking excellent job.
So I bought it, we watched it, and we told ourselves, okay, if it holds that title saying it's one of the best next to Shaun of the Dead, okay.
Like, we'll agree. Yeah.
At first, there's, I would say, I don't want to say pacing issues, but it builds. It builds.
Look, it definitely takes time to get into. Most of the time, as a writer, they tell you that the first 15 minutes of a film, you have 15 minutes to engage your audience. After 15 minutes, you haven't engaged your audience, you're fucked. You know, this movie took a gamble because the first 15 minutes kind of were a bit slow, I guess you could say, but it kind of begs you to keep watching it. Just stick around for a little bit. We got something in store for you, and we don't want to give it away because Maurice listens to this podcast, and I don't think he's watched the movie yet.
Or anyone who'd watch it.
Honestly, dude, anyone who listens to it, I don't think has seen it, so I don't want to give it away because there is. kind of like From Dusk Till Dawn, where it kind of flips the story on its head a little bit.
Yes, good way to put it.
It subverts your expectations in a big bad way. After like what you would say like the 30-40 minute mark.
Yeah.
Because when you watch it after that point in the movie, you're like, is that it?
Dude, I was
That's
disappointed
like,
when
this movie's so fucking short.
I was, oh, what the fuck?
And it's also kind of like not well done. And then you're in for a fucking treat right after that. And then you're like, oh my god, I'm such a moron for saying these things about the movie.
Yes.
Because this movie it's fucking smart. And if you're into it and you're following along, it also kind of assumes that you
feel the same
way. Like, you
what
know,
the hell? Yeah.
like, let's just stick with me.
Yeah.
Stick with us for a little bit. It is definitely a funny fucking film.
Yeah.
It kind of feels. I don't want to say this word because it feels like it's a negative, but it almost fucking betrays you. Because after watching that like half hour mark, you're like, and then when you see I guess you say like the twist. When the twist happens, you're kind of like, you bitch. You fucking bitch. Here I was thinking that all this shit happened.
Right.
And then you're telling me another thing is going on? It is just such a fucking... I know we're talking like in riddles here, but...
We can't spoil it. Cause
I don't want to spoil it,
because it's great once you like, oh, you get yourself the oh moment.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, this is why we were telling Maurice, like, I kind of want to see it with him. I want to see his reaction.
It's one of those.
happens.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that you have to see with someone else that haven't seen it, because you want to see their reaction the way we were. Like, what the fuck was I watching? Right.
And we have to preface this by saying, I don't know if you brought it up. Is it like Indonesian or Korean film or like?
It's one of those.
Yeah, but it's like a foreign film.
Yeah.
So that's already gonna kind of like turn people off. You know, a lot of people are gonna watch foreign films or horror movies with like fucking subtitles and everything. But trust me when I say this movie,
It's a Japanese.
Okay, it's a Japanese film.
Dude, it has 100% Rotten Tomatoes.
That should tell you something.
Yes.
Trust me when I tell you, when you see this movie, and hopefully you're one of those people who love shit like Shaun of the Dead, because this, I think Edgar Wright would have been proud, man.
Yeah, it's right up there.
I don't know if Edgar Wright has said anything publicly, but I hope he's watched it, and I hope he is like, oh man, this fucking movie is good. Like, I wish I would have come up with that, because it is good.
It's right up there for me now. You know, I just can't say good stuff about it. You know,
like you kind of think like, is it a horror movie? Because it is comedy. Oh, I don't know if I'd classify it as horror after what you know is going on.
Yeah,
but it still has some horror tropes in it too. I still say fuck it, like watch it for Halloween. It's probably one of my favorite movies of last year.
Yeah,
it was that fucking good.
I don't know what else to say. Just watch it, rent it, whatever you have to do.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's a buy guarantee. You're gonna have fun if you love Shaun of the Dead, whatever. But first, it's like a slow pace, but it builds up, and once you get it, you're gonna say the same thing we did. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah. No,
it's so fun of a film.
After watching shit like The Exorcist, or if you're watching shit like fucking Blair Witch or other movies that we're going to talk about later in part 2, watching One Cut of the Dead is like a palate cleanser. You kind of feel like you can just sit down and you can actually just chill out and watch this film. It's a fucking good movie. And it also should serve as an inspiration to people who want to be filmmakers too. Because it has a lot of that in there. Like, again, I don't want to spoil it, but it has a lot of that. If you're a filmmaker, you kind of know the struggles that these people are going through too. Yeah. So it is just such a good fucking movie. We're going to end it there for part 1. We'll be back with part 2 because there's just so much more to discuss. So stick with us. It's the Spooktober edition. God.
All right, just say it. Two Brothers.
Edition of Two Brothers. So this has been Two Brothers.
Two Brothers.
We'll see you guys next time.
All right.